Oh, hello. Welcome back to Cape Canaveral. Blimey, that was a quick lunch. I didn't really have much time for lunch. I hope you've made some stuff. I hope you've made better paper planes than I did. I can't work out quite what went wrong with that one, but not to worry, because I have got the world's best one. I don't know if any of you Googled anything and found out how to make the world's best paper aeroplane, but it looks a bit like that. I'm not going to fly it because I don't want to lose it here at Cape Canaveral. Yeah, we're here for 30 minutes, is that all right? Yeah, 30 minutes, and then you can launch the space shuttle. Yeah, just give us 30, yeah. No, I'm sorry, no, it's an important mission, but this is important as well. 30 minutes. Right, okay. Sorry about that. These space people, they get a bit stressed out with their deadlines. I hope not, if you see anything move or any fire going off, please let me know. So, we're launching a Rocket Kids Club on Friday. A lot of it inspired by this book here. And I just need to do a couple of little things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you a little film of a day when I saw a friend of mine, Ed Finch, who's a teacher in a school in Oxford, a very generous friend. On a Friday night, I had nothing to do for the weekend. I had very little work because I don't get paid much for this, and if I haven't got any bookings, I don't get any money. And I said to Ed, I see you're doing a literacy event tomorrow called the Oxford Reading Spree. And he said, yes, it's for teachers who are all interested in books and libraries in schools and teaching boys and girls to read and lots of really interesting people. And I said, could I come? And he said, oh yeah, you can come along. You can even have a table, put some of your Steamco brochures out, maybe show people how to make rockets. And I said, oh great, okay, I'll do that. And then he said, well, do you want to say a few words to everybody? And I said, brilliant. And on the way there, I had an idea. I had an idea about writing a book. I had an idea about using the event to tell everybody about the book. And you won't believe the journey that unfolded after that. And that's what this film is. It's 5 minutes. It's got a great soundtrack. It's got one of my favourite songs. I'm sure you're going to know it. And it's going to tell you a little bit about my story. So this is a story for you kids to watch. And it's a story for you mums and dads and carers and teachers. It's got a man called Elton John in it. It's got me in it. I don't think there are any other super cool famous people. I'm not super cool or famous, but let's just watch it and see what happens, shall we? Next, on your marks, get set, go. Thank you, Ed. I'm a real loser dad, aren't I, being here on a Saturday afternoon when there's an FA. Is there an FA Cup final today? The only thing I know about football is that is a football. So catch that and hold that for me. So I'm Nick Corsten. That's my guilty pleasure, if you like. I'm just a dad. I am just a dad. Nothing more than that. No fancy stuff. You're the clever ones. You're the teachers. I'm a dad who saw this TED Talk. Who hasn't seen that TED Talk? Great. That's your homework tonight sorted. 20 years ago, this month, he published a report about creativity in arts and education. It was a fantastic piece of work. It was trashed and long forgotten. 5 years ago, The Guardian had a headline with that. It said, I just talk quickly till people say yes. That's a picture of me and my two boys in The Guardian 5 years ago today when we launched this project I'm going to tell you about now, Steamco, which is about bringing communities into schools to inspire kids with creativity, to help them find their art. Activities might be spin painting, ukulele, making rockets, get the dads in, rolling papers, coding. And we put everything you need to run a Steamco day in a little trailer that's currently blocking the car park, so nobody's leaving early this afternoon. There we are in Newcastle. 4 out of 10 kids just asked what they want to be when they grow up, said rich. But they can't all win the X Factor, they can't all play for Watford Town. We need to give these kids inspiring role models. We need to give them real role models. We call them inspirators. We want to get these famous creative people to go into schools to develop activities like this lad did. This lad from Sunderland, who was on the telly in America with a gadget he designed to eat your breakfast a bit more efficiently. A design that a little girl created through his inspiration because she didn't have any friends to go skipping with her, so she used a couple of drones. This little girl wanted to go scooting with all her family, so he made it for her. Dominic Wilcox, when he was a little boy, his mum and dad took him to the Durham Cathedral. When he ended up at the Royal College of Art, Minnie, great walking past the Mini factory today or driving past, said, design a car of the future. And that's what he came up with, a stained glass driverless sleeper car, because you don't need to see where you're going and you can have a bed in it and you can have a nap. Creativity is Great Britain. It's our greatest export. I launched Steamco in Brazil the other day, at the Bet Show over there. That's me, Nick Corsten. Pause for a breath. I am a born again Elton John fan. I don't have much money. But if I did, I certainly wouldn't be buying a house with it for us all to live in, I'm afraid. That song has changed my life. Does anybody remember the TV ad that it was on just before Christmas and who it was for? John Lewis, correct answer. What do you think that ad was about? One word, come on, one word, Kerry, one word. What was that film about, that ad, John Lewis ad? Anybody got a word? Just make my day. Pardon? Nostalgia, high five for that. Stupid eye, didn't see that coming, did you? What word, one word, one word? One word, that's two. Okay, how about pianos? How about art? How about a gift of art? How about a gift of a career? Piano, music, money. Suddenly the kids are listening, aren't they? Making lots of money with your art. Here I am in Bradford. I rented that screen in the morning when I heard that Jimmy Rotherham, the music teacher, had been shortlisted for Global Teacher of the Year. I rented that screen for 500 quid. It's usually £5 grand, don't tell my wife. So if you had one thing to say to Elton John, what would it be to Elton John if he was listening now? I don't know if he is, but...
Thanks for the music, Aston.
Thanks for the music. I'd say thank you for that. Thank you for Rocket Man, thank you for your song. Because we believe in art for all. I'm not wearing an I Love Art t-shirt for no good reason. I believe that art is what we call it when what we do connects us. I went to Primary Rocks last year and I met that bloke. Anybody know who that is? Brian Walton. He's the head teacher of a school down the road from Glastonbury. I want to see him on stage this year with a microphone. No, that's our mayor. I don't want him. Let's have the Queen instead. And that's a little boy. A little boy in Brian Walton School, because Brian Walton School, Brookside Academy in Street, won Times Education Supplement Community of the School of the Year last year, an alternative provision. For one reason, he told me. Because they only close 1 week a year, that school. It's the hub of that community. I'm not going to start on the social services stuff, but you know the job you do and the role you play in your communities. And that's why I think art is so important, because if art connects us, there's never been a more important time for us to be reconnected. Steamco connects our kids with their art and our communities with their schools. And that's what this is all about, because you guys can't do it all on your own. Here I am, after I saw that Elton John film, I ripped it off, put my own subtitles on it, went on a 2-week tour of Britain, from Cornwall to Carlisle. There I am in King's Cross kicking it off. There I am in Burton-on-Trent. There I am in Birmingham, I think, letting off a rocket. Look at that, there's a rocket going off there. There I am showing a little film of me when I was 1 with my dad and my first ever train set. Look, my dad showed me how to make a bridge. What did I use to make a bridge? I used my imagination. You all knew the answer. We've all got an imagination. On that tour, I ended up blagging a Lego train set from John Lewis, and I gave it to that little lad at Parklands Primary in Leeds. That lad wasn't expecting much for Christmas, let alone a Lego train set.
Literally.
That's him in Parliament, opening our Art Connects Festival with his mum and his dad and his teacher there, Sharon from Parklands Primary. And there he is playing with his train set in Parliament. That train set was to me what that piano was to Elton John. I became an engineer. I went to university. I've got a master's degree in electronic engineering, design A-level technology, and a big gob, as you can see. So I get technology, I understand creativity, and I love selling a good story. I spent the first half of my career in advertising. I'm spending the second half working with you to inspire young people to be creative. The Art Connects Festival, you can read all about that. It's about inspiring kids, creating jobs, and engaging community, because I don't believe anybody cares much about schools or education or teaching until they have kids, and then everything changes. You can look that up on the internet. We had a page in The Guardian, everybody sent us a quid, had their name in the paper, and we're just about to announce we're launching this Art of Events tour. We've just done the Art of Festivals, where we had the creative director from Glastonbury. We're doing the Art of Community in Parklands with Chris Dyson and Beth and the school community. That's going to be an event, not like this. This isn't going to be CPD for teachers. It's going to be parents and teachers and children and business people and local artists sitting together running an event like this about how they can come together to inspire their children. Simon has agreed to do an event called The Art of Books in Whitby. Has anybody ever been to Whitby? I do know it's a long way on the train, which is why I'm driving, because I'm doing a 6-week tour. This man, Richard Gerver, is generously offered to do his first keynote on this new book, Education Manifesto for Change. The theme of that book, collaboration. Communities working with you. He's doing that in King's Cross. We're doing an event called The Art of Rockets in South Wales, and we're doing this What's Your Art summer tour. I'm going to be going to schools all the way across the country after half term for 6 or 7 weeks to talk to their kids. What's your art? Is it fashion or football, cooking or coding, painting or photography, engineering, inventing, dance, robots, whatever. And we're going to do an all-school assembly. We're going to talk about that. We're going to make paper rockets. We're going to do coding with BBC Microbits. We're going to do ukulele workshops, all delivered by the parents working with teachers in these sessions. A robot workshop. I've got a robot here, I haven't got time. That robot will solve a Rubik's Cube in 2 minutes and 20 seconds, made out of Lego. How cool is that? 20 years old, that technology. An inventing workshop with Dominic Wilcox. Engineering with the dads rolling up newspapers. Parental engagement is so, so important. We finished with a rocket launch, and here's a video of what some rocket launches look like. You can watch that on the internet, lots of videos. So this book changed my life. A book about 4 boys who didn't want to be coal miners in a dead-end coal mining town in America in the 1950s. They looked up to the sky and saw the Sputnik. They learned to make rockets. A year later, they made a rocket that went 6 miles high in the sky with the encouragement of a mum, a teacher, and eventually the dad caved in and helped as well. And Ed's lad and my boy made a paper rocket. Let's just fire this and show you what these rockets. This is a rocket they knocked up in the hall, which is why there's loads of mess there. We pump it with a little bit of air and we do a countdown.
3 minutes, 15 seconds, guidance
so this
is
bit
internal.
is going to take 12 seconds.
12,
You know that, come on,
11,
10, come on,
10,
10, 9, come on, Reed, come on.
Ignition sequence start. 6.
This is the graveyard shift, let's bring it to life.
3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
So that is a paper
We have
rocket.
a liftoff.
That book
32 minutes
changed
past
my
the
life. I'm not going
hour.
to tell you details. If
Liftoff
I gave
on
somebody a
Apollo
copy of this book, would they promise to read it and tweet it and pass it to somebody else, maybe give it to a parent in their school community? Does anybody want that? Yeah, there you go. I'm glad you said that. Are you a dad by any chance? Fist bump.
Dad, can we read this?
Respect. The Art of Dads.
Come on now,
Has anybody
Jack.
seen this film before?
Sorry, buddy, come on. Let's just watch some television or something, shall we?
Save the Children, National Literature Trust, getting dads to read. And this is the dad I want to engage today. The dad who hasn't gone to the football like me, the dad who's working today like me, the dad who sent his partner to Watford Town to watch the football today with his sons. Elton John's launching a film on Wednesday. It came out in Cannes on Thursday night, amazing film. Elton John is a great artist. Elton John is a great export. The creative industry is worth £100 billion to this country a year. He's a great dad. Here and now I'm announcing the Art of Rocket Dads Week, next week. This is a literacy event because next week I'm going to write and publish 5 stories that dads can read to their kids every night. Short stories, 1 page, whatever, and a picture. One about Homer Hickham's story, Dr. Helen Sharman, Mary Jackson, one of the Hidden Figures characters, Elon Musk, the little boy who grew up to change the world to make rockets, electric cars. That guy, I can't even pronounce it, he's paid $1 billion to go to space on Elon Musk's rocket. So that's what we're all about. The Daily Mirror had an article recently where somebody said, I've learned the simplest thing in life is having a minute with them. It's worth more than any painting, any photograph, any house or hit record. Before we had the children, we just had our lives and we'd spend money because we didn't have anything else to focus on. Who do you think said that? Maybe it was that bloke who's got Gucci Loves Elton. I never thought that fatherhood could bring me so much joy. Our children have always been educated. They know we have to support people. They know that not just people with AIDS, people in generally who need help. And I'm appealing today to Elton John to pay £300 for me to go into a school near where he lives in Windsor, near Eton, near where the Queen lives, near Legoland, and run one of our What's Your Art sessions. I'd love to come into your schools. If you think you can do this, I'm going to give you everything you need to appeal to local companies, to local people, to pay for us to come into your school, because I can't imagine you've got a lot of budget left at this time of year. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Ed, for letting me do that. That's the What's Your Art Summer Tour. and I'm just a dad. Thanks for listening.
I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down the words how wonderful life is while you're in the world.
Well, hello and welcome back. I just don't know where time goes. Do you know that feeling when you rush and you wonder where time is going? Just madness. I don't know. So we're back in the community lock-in here in the community lock-in. It's not very convincing, is it? Because I'm just actually in a little cabin down in a place called Cape Canaveral. They've put this big screen up for me. It's brilliant. I'm here in Cape Canaveral, which is a place in America where they launch all the space rockets from, in Florida, near Disney World actually. Apparently, I think a lot of people who go to Disney World usually go there. And you can see that. Now I'm just going to sort of change this all around now. And if I just pull this blind up, there we go, and that's right, and we can look out the window, and that's what's outside. I'm inside in a cabin, so it's a bit quieter than it was earlier. I was outside earlier, and you could probably hear all the noise that was going on around outside earlier on. So basically, that's now all gone black, isn't it? It's not very good because I pressed that button there. Why did that go black? Is that going to work? Well, we'll see. Do you know what? Epic fails. We've got to be prepared to have a go. And everything I'm doing today, I had no idea I was going to be doing 2 or 3 weeks ago. I had no idea. And I don't know if you've got any idea where I am or what I'm doing or what it looks like at the moment. What's in front of me, you might just think I'm in a room and there's a window there and a table here and a lovely screen. It's a nice big fancy place, and outside the window there they're going to launch a space rocket, and the man's told me they're doing it in 25 minutes, so I can't be talking for too long. And here I am in this amazing place called a community lock-in, and we're here because a company, I was supposed to be doing a talk for a big company called LGFL who do all the internet for schools in London, and they had to cancel the conference, so I wasn't going to get paid, and that was the only piece of work I had left that hadn't been cancelled. And I spoke to them and I said, well, is there any chance that maybe we could do it as an online event, like, you know, like people are doing video conferences now? You've probably heard a lot about this, and Zoom and things like that, and Microsoft Teams and Google. And he said, why, what are you thinking of doing? And I had some ideas, and I went back to him. I cycled over to his office, and he said yes. And so basically they've sponsored us and given us some money for lots of cool kit. Would you like to see what I've got here? I mean, it's quite, if I say it myself, it is quite incredible. I'm just going to turn that on there. So what we've got, I'll give you a secret tour. Now, I'm not going to show many people what's in this special room, but I'm going to show you now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press that button, because that will get rid of me. And if I press that button and that button, you'll see my desk, and there are my hands. And this is my desk where I'm going to make things. So this is where we made a paper plane this morning, and that's where we made our super world's fastest aeroplane. That's the best one in the world because I found it on the internet, and the internet's never wrong, is it? Well, maybe it is sometimes. And there's a paper rocket. So this is a creative space. But if I press tell you what I could do actually. I could press this button here. Let me have a look and see what's plugged in to go in there. So if I press that button, you should be able to see me in the corner on a green background, because I'm in front of a green wall now for some reason. I don't really, that's all very complicated. So you should now be able to see around my desk. Now this is the box of tricks. This is an amazing box of tricks here. Let me get rid of that for a minute. This box here is what's called a mixer, and all the wires going in the back, can you see all those wires here? All these wires have got cameras and computers all coming in here. So I've got 8 different what are called channels, and that one is for the camera at the back. So if I press that one, you'll see me on that camera. If I press that one, you'll see that camera. Those are those 2 buttons there. I don't know why that one's gone blue. That concerns me a bit. Not to worry. 3 is my laptop. So if I press that, that will pull up a picture. If I press that there, that will pull that picture up. And if I press that, there's nothing on those because those are black. We've lost that. Let's get that back. These are blacks. There's nothing on these. This one here is this computer over here. So if I press that, you should see that computer. So there's a computer over there with Skype on it, and then this one is computer number 2, and then that one is not turned on at the moment because that computer is doing something different. So if we now look over here, this is what I think is really cool. Look, there's an iPad here, and this iPad can do everything that can do. So if I had somebody helping me, and I've got 2 teenage boys who don't seem too keen to help me for various reasons, I could have this up here and they could have that over there. But what's really cool about this, look at this, this is the really cool thing about this iPad app, is as well as controlling everything on there that I can do here. So if I press that button, that will fade, and press it again and it fades back. I could slide my little lever here and slide it back. But what's really cool is I've got an audio mixer, so I can mix all the sound. This is all the different sound channels. And this one here, if I press it again, I got a whole load of different buttons. So this is absolutely fantastic. This is my Vision mixer. And nobody that I've seen on the internet, nobody has got anything as cool as this. And believe it or not, I've actually got some pedals underneath, and I'm going to be able to control it by pressing pedals on the floor, so I can do it by hand without having to press buttons like that to make me disappear, and again to make me come back. How cool is this? I've got a television studio. I've got a television studio here in my special place. Now, if I turn that off, you will see over there, I've got 3 laptops. Whoa. So don't tell the government, because they want to give lots of laptops to people, apparently, children who haven't got them, which is a great idea, but they can't have mine. This laptop at the front has got somebody who's going to Skype in, and they're going to connect with me on Skype. This laptop here as well is going to Skype. Okay, and I'm just going to send them a message because they're waiting to talk to us. There's somebody on that screen there, and they are waiting to talk to us, believe it or not. So this is really exciting. So this is a real television studio. It's like literally having a television studio, or phoning a request in on the radio, or going on the television. But I've never even seen this. Well, I suppose you have done it on the television. So those are those 2 laptops. And then the laptop right at the back, that one is connected to the internet on that box there. And that box takes everything that's on that computer and sends it off. And it's going to YouTube, to Facebook, and to Twitter, Periscope. And as long as that little button there says on air, then I know things are working. And then here, we've got a laptop which has got my PowerPoint on it, which has got the picture of Cape Canaveral. And then obviously what I'm holding is a camera. But if you look over there, this is the interesting bit, this is the reality, this is the other side. There's a camera over there in front of the window looking at me. So that's this camera. So if I press that button, that's me on that camera over there, right the way over there. And then the really cool thing, I think, is that video screen over there. Can you see that big television over there? So that television, if you think I'm not looking at the camera sometimes, it's because what I'm doing is I am looking at all those windows. And if you look in the top right, you'll see what's going out. So that's the stream that you're seeing. On the left with the picture of me is what's ready to go out. So if I press the button, it will change to that, and now change back to that. And then all the other pictures all along the bottom are 8 channels, all the input, so I can see what's ready to go. And if you look carefully, you'll see on HDMI 3, that's a picture of Cape Canaveral. So I'm going to press that button over here, and then press my fade, and fade back to Cape Canaveral. And that is a secret of how the community lock-in works. Now you've got to promise not to tell anybody, because this is the best video conference system I've seen anywhere in the world. And I mean that. The BBC have got some fancy stuff, but even they are very, very vulnerable, because not everybody can go to their offices, and a lot of them have to dial in, and I haven't seen anybody at the BBC do what we're doing now, where you can use colours to get rid of the background. Well, my cup of tea's just arrived. Live on air, my cup of tea's just arrived. You going to come say hello, Jesse? No? Okay.
I knew I wasn't answering anyway.
Thank you very much. Just to prove this is live television, I've just had a cup of tea delivered. I heard a little knock on the door. Oh my goodness, I needed that because I haven't had any lunch. I only had a banana for breakfast. It's a rock and roll life being a space whatever I am. Being an artist, an art activist, or a dad, I don't know. Let's see if we can get this up here because somebody else is supposed to be calling in on that one quite soon. No sign on that one, but not to worry. So, what is today all about? Well, today is about our... where are we? This is all a bit sticky today for some reason. We are launching a thing called the Rocket Kids Club, and on Friday we're going to launch a whole day, and if you were listening this morning, I'm not going to bore you with that again, but basically it's a safe place for kids and creative carers to be inspired by seeing cool creative things, by being inspired, creating stuff themselves. Creating, as we found out this morning, is all about making something that wasn't there before and sharing it with other people. So that's what the Rocket Kids Club is all about. We are going to be, today is all about World Creativity Day, so we're celebrating World Creativity Day, and it's all part of our community lock-in. So this is the 2 o'clock show, which is half an hour late already, so that's not very good, is it? And all sorts of people are very creative. This is one of my favourite artists. This is the artwork of Bob and Roberta Smith. It's a man who's got 2 names, a woman's name and a man's name, which is very creative in itself. And he's very passionate. He's what I would call an art activist. He uses his art, his creativity to make a statement. So if you look there, there are signs that says, your art is your human right. Other one there, make art, not war. Art makes children powerful. You can make messages and you can say things using graphic design or doing videos. And we work with a company called Adobe, and they've got amazing software products for doing really cool graphics and videos on your phones, on your tablets, on laptops, doing graphics. Really, really cool. So we'll be looking at that in the next few weeks. This is one of my favourite ones of his, actually. This is a picture of him in the Guardian newspaper. All schools should be art schools. And I know lots of schools that really are art schools, not just because they teach painting, but because they teach children, they inspire children, they connect children with their art. So they might help them be artists and painters or photographers or coders or technologists or cooks or dancers or nurses or doctors or teachers or police people or firemen or pilots. Whatever you're passionate about, whatever you want to dream about, whatever you want to say is your art, and your art can take you as high as you want to fly, because the Rocket Kids Club is all about helping you aim not just high, but higher, as high as you can. And your parents and carers and teachers are all here to help you do that. So what I want to do now, I think, is skip through that quickly, because today is World Creativity Day. And we set some challenges this morning. We've done some activities, and this is just a little program this afternoon to see if anybody did make a paper aeroplane like that, which is a bit rubbish, or this is the world's fastest, apparently, that wasn't much better, or if anybody did an I Love Art logo, because we want to pick 3 of these today and print them as t-shirts later on and send them off to you so that they can wear them on Friday when we launch the Rocket Kids Club. So if anybody's done one of those, and if you haven't, you've still got another hour, because we'll finish that at 4 o'clock, and then we'll print them and we'll get them off in the post maybe tonight or certainly tomorrow, and you'll definitely get them for Friday. So that's the hashtag I Love Art logo competition. You take the photo and then scan it and send it in really carefully, nice good quality image, and then we'll be able to print that as a t-shirt for you. So let me see if we've got anybody here waiting to have a chat with us. I'm going to Skype in. This is somebody who I saw on Twitter earlier, who has done some really cool creative stuff, and they said they're on their iPhone. If any of you want to phone in now, if anybody's watching live now, and it's 2:30 on Tuesday the 21st of April, if anybody is live and ready now, wants to come on the show, all you've got to do is go to Skype and find Community Lock-in Skype account and Skype us, and we will speak to you. And it says, ugh. Let's just see if this person's here. This looks like the same person. Let's have a look. No, I'm not going to be able to speak to them unless I'm speaking to you. Let's see if they answer. Yeah, oh, this is looking good. Hello, brilliant. Turn your screen around that way. Turn your screen around that way. That's brilliant. Okay. I don't know if they can see. Put thumbs up if you've got the iPad. Can you see the iPad as well? Yes, fantastic. This looks like it might work. So I now need to go to my little box here and say, well, let's get them up in number 7. And let's get them over there like that. Okay, right. Let's go live. Thumbs up if you can hear me up there. Another thumbs up. We're getting lots of thumbs up. I'm going to press that button. We are going to go live and direct. Who are you then?
Who are you? What's your name?
Marthy.
Marthy. Hello, Marthy. So this is lovely. Whereabouts are you? I don't even know where you are. I just saw you on Twitter.
Where do we live?
We live in Runcorn.
Runcorn. That's in Cheshire, isn't it? Are you up near in Cheshire? Fantastic.
Yeah.
And what's your mum's name? You're Marthy. What's your mum's name?
Gemma.
Gemma. Well, fantastic. So what have you guys been up to?
Do you want to go and show him what you've been up to? Okay, I'm not very technical, so let me see if I can switch
You've done
this
very
camera
well.
around.
You're doing better than I have all day, don't you worry.
Let me go, sir. Not sure how to twist it round. Okay, I'll do it like this, Matt. Okay.
Whoa, what a lovely blue sky.
Let's see if I can find you. Where are you? Go on then.
Brilliant. You've made some paper aeroplanes.
Do you want to come and tell him what it is, what you're doing? you
Fantastic.
Can you see that? Look.
I'm trying to get the airplane through the holes.
Oh,
what
you've
do you
got a
get if they
target,
go
have
through the
you?
holes?
And we get points.
And who's winning?
Me.
Fantastic.
What's your score?
My score is 90 and Mummy's score is 40.
Oh, well, at least Mummy's letting you win. That's fantastic. That's good of Mummy, isn't it? Well, that's fantastic. So
I
not only
wasn't.
not only have you made some paper airplanes, but you've actually created a game with them as well. That's really creative, isn't it? In the world of advertising, they call that
Got
game.
it through.
They call that gamification, making something that would be quite boring normal. I don't think flying planes is ever going to be boring, but making it fun by gamifying it. And I think in this in the lock-in that we've got at the moment, it's very good. It's very important to try and make things enjoyable, isn't it? So how old are you then, Marthy?
I got it through.
Sorry, say what did you say?
How old are
What
you?
did you say?
How old are you?
5.5.
5.5. Does that mean you're year 1?
Yes.
Nearly at year 2.
Not quite, but go back, you might be year 2.
And I think I've seen a Twitter account with your name as well. Is it Adventures with Marthy?
Yeah, that's right, isn't it?
Tell
Matt?
us all about that. What's that all about? Are you one of these mummy bloggers? Are you?
No, I'm not. I probably should have been quite a few years ago. Probably should have done it, but no, it's kind of work got in the way. But no, we just do lots of good stuff, don't we? We just do lots of good stuff, and we just like interacting with people. That's what it is, isn't it?
Well, that's wonderful. And you know what? I think the days I wouldn't say they're gone necessarily. But it doesn't have to be about having lots of followers and lots of money and selling stuff to people or whatever. It's about connection, and especially at a time like this, I think it's really important, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not. Not. I follow a lot of people. Not many people follow me, but that doesn't matter, does it?
Well, no,
We
of course
just
it
like
doesn't.
interacting and thanking people for if we've gone somewhere and done something or seen a show. We just like thanking them, don't we, and saying well done or whatever.
We'll do a little show on our Art Connect show all about the kind of etiquette or otherwise of Twitter and social media, because I think sharing is caring. It's no big deal to click and to share and to like, because you know and I know that it's acknowledgement. It's a little bit of oxygen, isn't it? And when people deny you that, it's a bit, I don't know, I think it's a bit stuffy sometimes personally, but you know, whatever, each to their own. And and to be honest, I don't know if 5, 6, 10 or 3 people have watched this today, but the fact that we've connected like this, the best events I've ever done, I've had hardly anybody at them, because I've connected with the 6 people that were there, and they've become friends or supporters or collaborators. And that's, how did you come across what we're up to then?
How did I come across what you?
Yeah, or this
You're
Steam Co and our work, yeah.
I started following you probably about, I don't know, maybe a year ago, something like that. And then I met you at Woodlands Primary School in Ellesmere Port.
That was a wonderful day.
Yeah, it was really good. You came to do a rocket workshop.
Are you a teacher there, or a parent?
I was, yeah. I'm not at the moment, but I was, yeah, for a little bit. I was just doing like supply, long-term supply there.
And what's it's Mrs.
So, yeah,
what's her
I'm not
name?
there
The
at the
head,
moment.
Mrs. What's her name? The head teacher there, Mrs.
Dr. Victoria Carr.
Miss
Lady.
Miss Carr. She's absolutely wonderful. And to be honest, so that was a classic. I was on a 2-week tour. I didn't have any bookings that week. My mother was very ill. I went to see her, and I saw a tweet from Emma saying that it was her birthday and she was a bit sad. And I said, right, we'll come up and we'll do a session now. I literally went up and did it on the spec like that. And here we are, and that's how it works. That's how these connections work, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're a supply teacher, are you?
No, not technically. I was a manager of an education centre, a nature reserve, and I got made redundant. I took early redundancy. It was closing, and then it kind of got to a point of not sure what I want to do. Do I want to go back into teaching? Because I used to teach 11 to 18-year-olds for 8-9 years in secondary school. Just give me a second. So now I'm just sort of back into a position. Fortunately, I'm out of work, but that's quite fortunate at the moment because I'm able to homeschool, and I've always wanted to do it. So for me, it's a positive at the moment.
Well, maybe start doing a daily blog. Nobody needs to read it, but it's a great archive, isn't it? And it might just be you put it in a book one day, and this is one of those moments. I mean, we're in May. We're looking to do what we're calling the hashtag UK Art Takeover. So we're going to go to a different town, village, city every day, hopefully every day in May, certainly for 2 weeks. And I'm very keen to come up there to Chester and Cheshire. I might do Chester because I've got quite a few friends in that area. So if we do, we'll have to see if we can get you to collaborate, maybe make something we can get you in on, and it will be a virtual thing. So we'll just get people like you dialing in in a slightly more structured way. And we'll have a morning session for kids.
I'm still learning all of this sort of stuff. So apologies.
Shush.
I wasn't really sure which like Skype to use or whatever. I was just baffled.
Well, I don't know if I'm creating the impression I know what I'm doing, because half of it didn't work this morning, half of it does now, and I'm feeling quite proud. But if it stopped working, I wouldn't know where to start. Did you see the video of all the kit we've got going on at the moment?
Yeah, we saw it this morning, didn't we? When you showed us all of the kit, all of the different boards, and all of the mice, and all of the laptops. We saw it.
Yeah, I've got 5 mice here. So, would you like to see the robot do something? Would you like to see the robot do something? Let's see if I can get the robot here. Let's have a look. So this is JD the robot. Now, robots, do you think robots are clever or not clever?
What do you think?
I don't know.
Do you think they're clever, or do you think they're not clever?
I think they're clever.
Yeah, I would say they're clever as well. I agree with you.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't think they are very clever. I think they're actually quite stupid, because how old are you? 5.5? Can you put jam on a piece of bread?
Can you? Can you make a sandwich?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you ride a bike yet?
Without stabilizers.
Without
Ooh.
stabilizers.
Wow. And can you read any words yet? So do you think this robot can put jam on a piece of bread? No. Do you think he can ride a bike? No. Do you think he can write any words? So who do you think is more clever, you or the robot? Who's the most clever?
Me?
Well, there you go. And a minute ago, you told me the robot was clever. So I think we have to think twice about these robots, because I don't think they're quite as clever as they want us to think. Now, I'm going to show you something. This robot can't do anything without this iPad. Where's my iPad? This iPad controls the robot. So what I need to do is I'm going to flick that button there. Why isn't that working? Here we go.
Just hold that a second.
Here we go. I'll get rid of me. So, oh no, I won't.
What?
Oh. I'm getting a bit confused now, not to worry. I'm going to turn my robot on using my iPad, and I'm going to see if I can get him to do something. Let's have a look. Because robots will only do what we tell them. Robots will only do what we tell them. So, first of all, I have to... Oh! Did you see that? Oh my goodness, he's come to life. This is not very good news. He just threw his arms out. Can you see him moving his head?
No, we can only see you.
Oh, you can only see me on the... You haven't got the iPad on an iPad on the YouTube, no? Okay.
Oh, yeah, let me go and get it. Yeah, no. It was just having a delay.
Yeah, there is a slight delay. Yeah, sorry, there's a bit of a delay on that. So...
There we go. There we go.
What's happening?
Would you like him to... I'm going to ask him a really quick question. Do you know your 2 times tables, JD? Oh, he doesn't. Did you see him scratch? You're going to see him scratch his head in a minute.
Okay.
And now he's waving to you. Can you see that?
No.
Is it not coming up on the iPad?
No.
Let's
No.
do it here.
I think it's too much of a delay, I think.
Look,
Oh, you can see him there.
he's waving.
He's scratching his head. There you go, that's especially for you. So there's a robot. So what we're going to do in the Rocket Kids Club is we're going to look at robots, and we are going to see what we have to do to control and code them. So that's one of the Rocket Kid Club activities. So are you going to join us on the Rocket? Do you want to come on our Facebook type program on our online system at the end of the week, Mum?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because we're looking for 100 people to try that over the next 2 weeks and make sure it's safe and it works okay, and lets us know what you think. What do you think of STEAMCO and what we're doing today and over the last year? What are your observations of that?
Fantastic. I think it's really good.
That's great.
I think
And
the whole collaboration approach and getting children more interested in art and science and engineering and everything. Yeah, fantastic.
and what do you think we could do better?
Ooh.
Or maybe I should give you 2
Oh, I
days to
don't
think
know.
about. Give you a couple of days to think about that.
Yeah, have a think about it.
It was
and, Is
waving.
it that we saw it now? Yeah, we can see
Oh,
it.
it
on
caught
the-
up, did it? Gosh, it is delayed. Sorry.
It was waving.
Oh, good. Let's see if we can get away. I think I've turned him off now. Okay. Well, what we'll do is we'll connect with you again this week. Thank you so much for coming in.
Okay. What do you say?
And we'll get you onto that. So do you want to do a can you do an I Love Art logo like this?
Oh, we did it. We made a T-shirt. I Love Art T-shirt the other day, didn't we?
Did you?
Of that. So should have worn it really, shouldn't you?
Well, wear that on Friday, because if anybody wants an I Love Art t-shirt like this, all they've got to do is download the sheet, A4 sheet off our website, the I Love Art sheet, fold it in half, draw a logo, and we're going to give 3 t-shirts away today and print those out so people can wear them on Friday. Right, well, lovely to see you. We'll catch up with you later in the week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
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 And that's what it's all about. Art connects. Art is what we call it when what we do connects us to somebody else. And it's a wonderful thing, whatever your art is. I'm just going to see if my art is likely to connect me with somebody today. I've just had a message of my dad telling me not to work too hard. Some chance of that. And let's have a look and see if we've got where are we? I don't think the schools are able to connect in this afternoon at the moment, but not to worry. Let's just have a quick look and see what anybody else has done on the Rocket Kids Club World Creativity Day. And we'll cut to that on number 7, so we'll zoom over there. And here's all our stuff on here. There's a lovely film for some children in Bradford. Let's see if I can find that. Where are we? Here we are, look at this. Here's some kids up in Academy St James in Bradford throwing the aeroplanes that they've made. fantastic. Where shall I stand so I'm not in the way? So all over the country, young people, children who are vulnerable, children whose parents are care workers are being looked after by teachers and Brave School leaders, site managers, kitchen workers, cooks, everybody in those communities, parents, teachers association, governors are coming in to provide a safe place for their kids. And what you see here are some children at Academy St James School in Bradford, Chris Tolson's school up there. I've made some paper airplanes this morning, and here they are flying them. And you know what? If only 6 children do that today, and 5 tomorrow, 3 on Thursday, and 10 on Friday, it's been time well spent, because that's what this is about: connecting people, connecting our kids with their art. So, fairly quiet out there this afternoon. I'm not going to browse through any more tweets. I don't know how many more we got. There's a couple more there, but I need to knock this on the head now and finish. So let's go back to World Creativity Day. Part 2 of our Rocket Kids Club launch day 1. It's a test launch day 1, and it just happens to be Global Creativity Day, World Creativity Day from the United Nations, one of the global goals. Absolutely fantastic. And we are here, we are STEAMco, we're powering communities to inspire their kids with creativity, whether it's the art of robots or the art of rockets. The art of robots or the art of rockets. That's what this is all about, helping our kids aim higher than high, helping them find their passion. We call it their art. Their art could be cooking, coding, robots, rockets, fashion, football, painting or photography, whatever it is, we call it their art, and we're out to connect our kids with their art. This is our Rocket Kids Club, which we're launching on Friday. Tomorrow afternoon, 3 till 5, we've got a brilliant session, a 2-hour program, #ArtConnectsShow. And we've got some amazing people coming in on that, not least the guy who did the ping pong ball TV ad. Have you seen that? Let me just show you that. If you haven't, I'm sure you have. This is possibly one of the most powerful films made to support the social distancing campaign. Let's have a look. Ping pong mouse trap social distance. Let's see if that finds it. Here we go. So this is one of the most incredible films. Let's get rid of the adverts. Is that an advert? Yes, so it's an NHS ad on COVID-19, so we'll skip that in a moment. We'll get our buttons ready to go to that vision. Here we go. And now we've got an advert on something else, have we? Oh gosh, no, it's somebody who's jumped on the bandwagon of social distancing with ping pong balls. Let's get back to the right one. Sorry about this. Maybe that's a good idea, isn't it? This is the one. Okay. So you might have seen this advert that shows the impact of a virus in a community and how it triggers and how it is spread. Fantastic film made by a creative agency in Ohio, and we're absolutely delighted that that agency are going to be on the Art Connect show here in our community lock-in tomorrow to talk about that TV ad that they've made. We're really, really excited. I'll just run that one more time if you haven't seen it. Oh, will I? Oh, now YouTube's taken me off to something else. Not to worry. So, Global World Creativity Day, STEAMco, connecting our kids with their art and our communities with their schools. Absolutely delighted to be part of this. Today, here in London, there in Cape Canaveral, celebrating art, celebrating creativity, and connecting our kids with their art. Tomorrow we'll be back. We'll do another session in the morning at 10 o'clock for half an hour, because it's World Box Day tomorrow, believe it or not. So we'll be celebrating World Box Day. Today's World Creativity Day. Friday we are declaring World Loo Roll Day, and we want everybody making art with loo rolls like this. So let's go back and roll the film for the Rocket Kids Club. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for tuning in. I'll probably roll a few videos from here on now because it's Global Creativity Day. We'll create a stream of content that people all over the world can come and watch and enjoy. Thanks for listening. Doing a hashtag Rocket Kids Club for all these kids to have a safe place to go and share and create with their creative carers. I'm going to share what Action Jackson hopefully would have done if he'd been on.
Everybody say dream big, dream big. Act now, act now. Never give up, never give up.
Hang on, let's just do some book stuff, shall we? This is the book that everybody really needs to be reading at the moment. Good Ideas, how to be your and your child's best teacher. What does collaboration mean to you?
For me, collaboration is everything. I believe that
art is
even
what we call it when what we do connects us. So your art could be painting, your art could be photography, your art could be dancing, the art of design, graphic design, DJing. I must admit, your art could be fashion. Your art, as many children are when I say this, could be football. The kids put their hand. Your art could be baking or cooking. The big bake-offs one of the most famous connects. Your art could be coding, developing games. There are lots of jobs in the creative industries, and that's what this is all about. Your art could be rockets. You could say my art's rockets, paper rockets like this, because your art could be rockets like this, Stevenson's rocket. And that's a BBC Microbit, a £12 computer. You can learn to code one of those without even having a Microbit. And we're going to show you how to do that. And we're going to teach you how to code JD. I have got on the line an amazing man called David Gilday. Are you with us?
So there are kind of two stages to solving this.
Go for it. No epic fails here.
Indeed. So this one is very similar to the robot you've seen before, but because it can see it reflected back from the cube, it can detect that.
This is a world exclusive.
This is the new one that I've been developing. I'm still working
with anything to do with wires or motors or anything that he can. The other day he wanted to make a crane, so we made a crane out of bits of wood and rope and stuff that we found in the garden and in his dad's shed. Ooh,
wow.
I can do it.
Hello, very good morning to you. Welcome to Breakfast with Dan Walker and Louise Minchin.
Yeah, hi Dan and Louise, is it? Yeah, hi. Yeah, we're down here in Somerset. We're running a thing called a community lock-in, hashtag community lock-in. We've managed to blag a bit of space under a stage off a farmer, as you can see over there. He's not using it this summer by the sound. Today, really important day, day one of Co-Fight 19. This is a campaign for all sorts of people coming together to fight the fear of the virus. We've set up camp, or we're setting up camp in lots of different places all over the country with what we're calling a content creation, and we're going to be doing hashtag Art Connect, celebrating the power of art. We're going to be running co-conferences, really excited about that. We're organising a thing called the Rocket Kids Club. We're launching that on Friday. We're going to be, and this is a community for kids and their creative carers. It might be parents. We're going to start off with the art of drawing, the art of Lego. We've got somebody coming in from Lego to do that. We're going to be doing an activity about robots. So this is JD, our robot. Give us a wave, JD. We're going to be plugging lots of books as well, not least our own book. This one with friend Frank up there in Liverpool. Fantastic. One book we're particularly keen to tell everybody about this period is this wonderful book by a wonderful man, Michael Rosen, Good Ideas, how to be your and your child's best teacher. And sadly, Michael's in hospital at the moment, so we wish him and his family the very best. And then in May, we're going to do a whole month of art takeovers, hashtag UK Art Takeover. Festivals, parliament.
You've nearly persuaded me to give it a go.
Thank you very much for being with us on Breakfast this morning as well.
We now
so
need
there'll be
some
lots of people
sponsors
watching
to help us get more of our pop-up day drop trucks on the road. So as soon as the isolation lifts, we can take creativity out to school communities, families, and all sorts of people all over the country over the next year, building up to 2022. Which the government had earmarked as a national festival of creativity.
We're not allowed to advertise on this programme, but sort it out, will you? Just sort it out.
Right.
On BBC Radio Shropshire. Good morning, it's 90 minutes to 8. If you heard the sound of a rocket being launched in Coalbrookdale yesterday, don't worry. It was an event aimed at getting young people inspired in science and technology. Ironbridge Gorge Museum Trust has been working with STEAMco to put on a day of workshops, talks and creative stuff for children, their parents and teachers.
Here we are in Ingenuity. The world's first ever steam train was built here by Richard Trevithick, who came up from Cornwall, because nobody in Cornwall could build a boiler strong enough, because only the Shropshire lads and boiler lasses could make boilers strong enough for him.
3 months ago, Matt Hancock, DCMS, launched the Culture is Digital campaign, which made us think, hang on, Ironbridge, culture, digital technology. I was in a school in Telford and there were some children there from really challenged backgrounds who really were being left behind.
If we can get 1 or 2 children just really interested in science, interested in engineering.
So when I thought back to that event we had at Barclays.
It's about bringing creativity to some of the most deprived children in the country.
This time around, we are committed to leaving no one behind, right?
We thought, right, well, let's have a day in Ironbridge. And that's what we've done.
Welcome to Ingenuity.
Any job, and there will be tech in there.
It's been incredible. I mean, the community's come together. We've had people from Barclays, we've had people from BT running coding and computational thinking activities. But I think one of the most amazing things that just shows how art connects, quite literally, was Monday morning I got a call from Matt Hancock's office saying Matt's got 10 minutes in his diary, pop down, let's make a video, and we did that. And on the wall behind him was a Damien Hirst painting, a spin painting of the Queen. And today we've had children spin painting on paper plates with pictures of the Queen, inspired by the work of Damien Hirst, inspired by a picture on the wall of the Digital Culture, Media and Sport Minister, Matt Hancock. So thank you, Matt.
I hope you really think about those STEAM skills, bringing technology and arts together.
We've had an amazing day today at Bridge Mary School. We've been doing our Aspire student fair, launching our new ethos in school about aspirations and about people's future, making sure our young people have the best futures possible.
Art is what we call it when someone does something that might connect us to someone else.
They've had a range of different events available to them, from higher education to STEM ambassadors, the Royal Navy, BAE Systems. We've got digital artists in as well. Our students are involved in launching rockets today, getting involved, speaking to strangers, learning about things they maybe didn't know about. They're on the South Coast and working with other people. Our Year 7s are really lucky. They have STEAM on their curriculum. 3 lessons a fortnight they have, promoting the arts in STEM. That creative thinking, applying that knowledge and understanding of STEM theory to create outcomes. Through creative thinking, thinking outside the box and applying all that knowledge and understanding they gain within their curriculum. Our students have had a great day with STEAMco here as well, launching their rockets, learning about how to participate, working with other students in different year groups. It's been a great day where art has been at the centre of our heart and the love that we have for the arts of Bridge Mary School.
By participating in a global art project, and together we turn the world inside out. And this starts right now. Yes, everyone in the room. Take the photo, the portraits, upload it, and I'll send you back your poster. Join by groups and reveal things to the world. So I hope that together we'll create something that the world will remember. And this starts right now and depends on you. Thank you.
Lovely to see Matt Hancock there in happier times, if you like. Big fan, supporter of art and creativity. If you saw there was a spin painting behind his desk then at the Department of Digital Culture, Media and Sport. It's now still behind his desk at the Department of Health, if you look. He was photographed in front of it this weekend. That's a poster by Damien Hirst. An art piece that inspired an activity on a STEAMco day in my home county in Shropshire at the Ironbridge Gorge Museum there, Ingenuity. And you also saw some Keith Haring artwork. lovely little books here about this incredible artist, graffiti artist from the 80s, the 90s, who I was lucky enough to see his work and know people who knew him in New York. Beautiful stuff. And we made this little film at the weekend, which I'd like to share with you now, talking about how art and cultural institutions might share their artwork with organisations like us to deliver as activities on STEAMCO Creativity Days, run by communities for communities.
We'd like to say that in our opinion it is not suitable for children or for those of you who may have a nervous disposition.
Creativity is not the monopoly of artists, it's in us all.
Well, that finished a bit quick, didn't it? I wasn't quite expecting that. Dr. John Patterson there in Liverpool, who joined one of our Art Connects show sessions the other week. Got another one of those tomorrow. Some fantastic people lined up for that. And I'm hoping that the chap in this next film will be able to join us. An amazing school leader from Leeds. We talk about connections. We talk about art connecting. Art isn't always about paint, music, dance or drama. Chris Dyson, a head teacher on the school there in on the Seacroft estate in Leeds, Parklands Primary, has been a real friend, a real supporter, a real rock to us. And the very first time I met Chris 2 years ago on a Friday morning, I did our half-day Rocket Kids session after a big hug from him with the gorillas banging out on his sound system. Very happy, very enjoyable, very empathic, loving and creative school. I then went into the assembly and this is what happened.
So an absolute wowzers of a morning, you know, Throne Day Friday, assembly, and then innovation, technology, and dreams rocketing up to the sky.
Look at the night, and it don't seem so long. Look at the night, and it don't seem so long.
If you were watching earlier, you'd have seen the technology that we're using here. We demonstrated it, and I've got a background in technology, and I'm still never cease to be amazed. Not just by the technology for the sake of technology, but for the convenience. So what we're doing here today, we've got a vision mixer that's mixing all our video channels. But the beauty here is we've got an iPad that extends the functionality of the mixer. So the iPad here has got all the buttons that are on the controller on the iPad here, but underneath are extra effects. So if I press that button, it pulls up a picture of Glastonbury. If I pull up, I'm not going to show you other ones, I can't remember what it was. And that one pulls up a full-featured sound mixer where you can literally slide the controls up and down with your finger, and that's all on an iPad. Absolutely wonderful. And I was looking the other day actually at some technology that really did catch my eye, and that was oh, why is it not working? Let's have a look. I've got lots of different colours coming up now, which is going to start confusing me. I want camera number, I don't want camera number 2, I want screen number 2. There we go. Late night, early morning, that's the problem going on here. So we talk about connection and collaboration. Last year was hashtag ArtConnects19, this year is hashtag Collaborate20. And collaboration, about working together, these are important skills, but also in the lockdown, it's very interesting to see people collaborating, playing games online, using technology to connect them. We say that art is the power of creativity, technology or tools, and people. Technology and tools. Technology is something that was invented after you were born. Think about it. For my grandparents, a telephone fixed to a wall with a curly cable that they shared with their neighbours was technology. To my children, the The iPad is technology, because I remember getting an early iPad and having it at their school, literally the day they came out, because I was working in the tech industry and the creative media industry. But for cavemen 32,000 years ago, there was a day when somebody made red paint, put it on their hand and made a mark on a wall. That was technology, because it was invented after they were born. So for us, art is the powerful combination of creativity, technology or tools, and people. And technology now is unleashing amazing creative opportunities. And the example I saw the other day was this. This is an app called Endless.
Imagine these devices belong to my friends who could be anywhere in the world. This is my friend in Los Angeles, this is my friend in Berlin, and this is me in London. We've all followed the same jam link, so we're in the same jam. I'm going to get things going by playing some beats. I touch it to share a loop with everyone in the jam. Any device which has the jam open will start playing my loop as soon as it receives it. I'm now going to be my friend in Los Angeles and play some bass. Touch it to loop it and send it to everyone else in the jam. I'm now going to be my friend in Berlin and play some notes. Touch to send a loop and share it with everyone in the jam. Now, from London, I'm going to take the notes that my friend in Berlin made and I'm going to remix them with a delay. Touch it to share it with everyone else in the jam. If you'd like to learn more about how to make music with Endless, either alone or together online with friends, then check out these videos. I'm Tim Exile, the founder of Endless, an app that lets you make music with your friends live from anywhere in the world. And I'm going to show you how to set up a jam and get started. You'll need an iOS device such as an iPhone or an iPad and some wired headphones. Follow the link in the description to download and install the app. Set up your account and let Endless guide you through the basics of how to make beats and music. You can also use your own acoustic.
It's an absolutely fantastic example there of an app. And I think what's interesting is we're talking to a lot of organisations at the moment about music festivals that are obviously going to have to be cancelled. Let's be quite clear, there are going to be no festivals this year, real ones. And everybody's scrambling to work out how to deliver them virtually. And we had Chris Tofu on the Art Connect show last week. Now he's the music director of Shangri-La at Glastonbury, which is the second biggest stage at Glastonbury, and Caravanserai, which is the most amazing stage area at Camp Bestival, where we go every year. And he was talking about how they're looking to recreate that experience and those opportunities for like minds to come together, whether or not they make any money, but it's about getting those people together. Because the majority of memories, the most amazing experiences at festivals, you may disagree, but Chris believes it, I certainly agree with him on this, is it's the off main stage experiences, those moments of human connection on a much smaller scale that are so special. And it may just be that we work out how to do that with technology, not at the expense of, what's rubbing there, that is, isn't it? Not at the expense of real world experiences, but in the absence of them, doing the best we can. And in May, we are going to be doing a month-long festival. We're launching it in Parliament, somehow in Parliament. We've done 2 in the real Parliament already, so we've got enough footage to make it look convincing. We're going to be doing 2 weeks UK tour as part of the Get Creative Festival, which is being organised by Voluntary Arts with the support, I believe, of the BBC. And then at the end of May, we're talking to a number of organisations. There are 2 festivals in the process. One was real, one has just come up as a virtual one. So they're both, if they happen, will be virtual. And we're looking to deliver support for one of those festivals, an online festival creative experience. We're already working with Brew Ed. Darren and Ed have agreed that they're going to be part of that. So we are going to deliver a 3-day art festival in all its shapes, all its forms, for everybody to come together under one virtual roof to share their art, to share their creativity. So that's going to be massive. That will be at the end of May. So that takes me back, really, if you like, to these amazing people down here, Portobello Radio, our friends in the community who are pumping out tunes of most eclectic, diverse, inspiring, uplifting range of music. Greg and Piers, who run Portobello Radio, really good friends now, And that's a connection that's come from running the Art Connects Festival, which we launched in West London last year, and they've been very generous featuring us on the show. So I just want to play this little film now, which is a movie we made last summer when we did a pop-up with them at 24 hours notice at Notting Hill Carnival.
We love everybody out there on the streets. We love to keep it warm, keep it good, and keep it Portobello Radio.
So, Notting Hill Carnival there, Greg and Piers, real generous, very community-minded, quality music people, bringing together their community through Portobello Radio, the local community radio station around here. Really enjoyed working with those guys. Steamco's spiritual home, if you like, is this place just here, Lulworth Castle, the home of Camp Bestival every year. We went there 9 years ago and saw what was happening in those fields and thought, how can we have this creativity in our kids' school? Because that's what, if you like, sort of pushy, middle-class, Guardian reading, Ponzi parents like me in London want for their kids, the best, but not just for our kids, for our community. And having run a creativity festival in our school, we call Steamco Days, and having run those for 5, 6, 7 years then, I gave my career up to roll it out across the country. So it's wonderful every year to go back to Camp Bestival, to have a stage there. We have a stage, very big stage there last year, which was supported by the Arts Council. We had dancing, we had ukulele, we had painting, we had talks, we had rapping, poetry rapping, science rapping, we had DJ talks, really fantastic. We had a book launch in the Literacy Tent. We had a main stage spot. We had 10 minutes on main stage. Jimmy Rotherham, the music teacher from Bradford, who was shortlisted for the $1 Million Teacher Prize, came out and played a chic medley. And we all sang and danced on stage and told everybody what our mission was: to put creativity first in our schools, work and lives, to connect our kids with their art and to connect our communities with their schools. And we were so grateful to the Arts Council for supporting that the way they did. We also did a project in Bradford with that grant, and then a whole week of Art of Code sessions in collaboration with Google. So that was the match funding. We always try and get match funding, businesses and public money to come together. We're not on a gravy train here. We need to get communities working together and communities working with us. And organisations like Google and Barclays have been particularly generous, but we need more companies. We need them to help us, and we need more companies, because we're bringing our rollout plans forward. We need to get Steamco on the road this summer, and we want to get 3, 4, 5 or more of our Steamco pop-up drop trucks on the road with a vehicle, with a Steamster, a driver, a person like me, to go out and inspire communities and to do what we did there in Notting Hill, to do what we did at Bude Carnival, to do what we did in Bradford at Academy St James, and to do what we do with the community up there in Leeds at Parklands Primary. Because the schools, the communities are desperate. There'll be no festivals this summer. We need to take the festivals to the people virtually and using our capabilities at our disposal, obviously in line with prevailing government social distancing guidelines. So this is a film I made this weekend. You've got a sense now of the technology at our disposal here at Steamco, which we can use for your co-conference, as we're going to be doing for LGFL. Steamco had a Camp Bestival had a sleepover at the weekend, which is a virtual event over Easter. And we were invited to get involved, and we didn't get back to them until a bit late, and all the slots were booked by people like Fatboy Slim's daughter and Sarah Cox and Mr. Maker and Dick and Dom and all the real celebs, and they didn't want some loser dad like me there. So I rocked up anyway. Nobody's going to stop me. Where is everybody? My God, Chris Tofu said, get down to Lulworth Castle down in Dorset, bring your decks, three boxes of records, a couple of turntables because he hasn't got any vinyl deck. Nobody around. Just dropped a few tunes between the bands at Caravan to Ride like you did last summer. So here I am, nobody around. Where is everybody? Have a look at the snow. You are kidding me. I thought the Camp Betwell sleepover was at Lulworth Castle. It's only on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and everywhere else but Lulworth Castle. I've got the gear, I'm going to set up, we'll do a jam later on. Disco Dads, Caravan to Ride Art Takeover. See you there later on, probably about 10 o'clock after the fireworks. See you later on. Let's give old Chris Topher a ring, see if he'll join us. And see if he'll drop a few remix tunes. You can probably see now why we love Camp Betwell so much and why we love Chris Tofu and Rob the Bank so much. Just fantastic nights there at Caravan to Ride, and they gave me a DJ spot there last summer as well. We've been DJing here in our community lock-in. There's the mirror ball that you just saw in that video. I did a 3-hour set the other night with Graham Andre, who's a fantastic teacher down on the Isle of Wight, and we did some music stuff going on. That was the Saturday Night Fever. We'll probably do that again. He's already asked me if I'd do a party this Saturday night. If anybody out there wants a 50th or 40th or anything, I don't think we'll go much younger than that because I wouldn't know the tunes, then we're up for it because I've got decks under here, we've got music, and we've just got our digital subscriptions all signed up, so we've got access to any music you want. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. But I mentioned Notting Hill there a moment ago, and Greg and Piers from Notting Hill Portobello Radio. We had a fantastic time there at Carnival, before Carnival, 3 weeks before, where the Pioneers ran an event.
Get your freak on, 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 get your freak on.
If you love it, holla at me one time. Holla at me if you want the wickedest wine. I know it's been a while, but baby, never mind. Cause tonight, me, I give you the whole nine, yo. Satisfaction, a every girl dream. Me love to put it on, make them wriggle and scream. Me get a call from Sexy Maxine. She leave a message from me inside machine. She said, me this, that's your chick.
People you know, me and Timberland been hot since 20 years ago. What the dealio? Now what the drillio? If you wanna battle me, then dilly.
I've never seen so many parents engaging, and the kids are just so happy. I've just seen so many dads just actually engaging and
absolutely wonderful there. A community nurse saying that she's never seen everybody so happy, and to see parents, particularly the dads, engaging with their kids there, just absolutely wonderful. And that's what this is all about, connecting people, connecting communities. We've proven a model here, we've proven this can work. There's some glue here, and this country needs sticking back together in certain ways, and we want to do that. And we hope you support us. If you're a company or a creative individual, some sort of philanthropist, whatever, we need to be talking, because I've got no money left at all, I'm afraid. So one person has made a lot of this possible for us, to be honest, and that's this guy here, we're about to see now. On a school in Leeds, I mentioned it a moment ago, one of the most socially challenged communities, Seacroft Estate there in Leeds. This school leader is just incredible. He runs a school, he's turned a school around through creativity, through empathy, through aspiration, but most importantly, through inspiration. As many other schools are frankly extremes in some cases, almost barbaric with children. Others run a very strict regime, which is totally understandable, and we need best behaviour and we need discipline. But some schools have different ways, and they need to be allowed if they get the results. Chris's school is outstanding in every respect, including Ofsted's. And this is a film we made to celebrate his work and his love for that community and those children.
You know, Parklands is an extraordinary example in terms of the work that the school is doing within the community, you know, the work that Chris Dyson has done.
Well, as you said, I'm Chris Dyson. I'm head teacher at a school up in the most deprived area of Leeds, Parklands. I inherited the school 3 years ago that had 150 exclusions, 5 head teachers in the same year, 5 different behaviour policies. Exclusions was the easy option, and it wasn't the best place to actually be. The school was inadequate, but the same team that have worked together have seen now we have no exclusions whatsoever in school, and we've actually started taking excluded children from other schools to bring them into our environment.
I mean, there's been a lot of talk about behaviour, especially this week with the Lose the Boobies event. Well, we've got to be respecting everyone's different ways of doing things. I mean, for myself, I love Paul Dix, and I think this is one of the best books that I personally have ever read. But I think behaviour can be encouraged by inspiration, you know, by getting the children to do exciting, innovative things through the curriculum, through the arts, through collaboration. So the key to the outstanding behaviour we've got here at Parklands is empathy, it's love, it's giving opportunities, it's believing in the children and giving them those opportunities to excel at things and to take a risk, you know.
When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me.
And it shows that you believe in the people, you believe in these teachers, you believe in these kids, absolutely anything is possible.
An amazing leader there, Chris Dyson at Parklands Primary. We're here today to celebrate creativity, World Creativity Day, and that's the word on the back of the wall here. And my background is creative industries. I've worked in advertising agencies. I've started some of the first digital agencies. I personally handcrafted the first ever web content for Microsoft's internet products, 1995. So I understand technology, creativity, and I love selling a good story. And creativity is the ultimate story. And I'm delighted to say that I've just had a message from one of the most significant, important, inspiring people in the world of creativity. And I'm hoping we're going to get him on the line now after this. So as a precursor to that, I'm actually just going to play a film, which is, if you like, one of our films about the importance of creativity and the need to put creativity first.
It's about bringing creativity to some of the most deprived children in the country. And what we're asking for is the opportunity for STEAM Code Day at our school.
Creativity is really what it is to be human, isn't it?
How we as the marketing industry, how we can tackle the really important subjects that matter to us as human beings as well as to marketeers.
If we're going to outpace the robots, then the sense of empathy and creativity and problem solving and all that stuff becomes more important. And on our watch, if we're not careful, the very things that you're saying you value and I value so much for my children are being squeezed out.
We're gonna work this out because this can't go on for anymore.
If we want to advocate for creativity in our places of learning and in our workplaces, we need to connect.
My God, that sounds like the complete setup, right?
We are leaving the industrial economy and entering the connection economy. You don't have to like it, but it's true. Art is what we call it when someone does something that might connect us to someone else.
I hope you really think about those STEAM skills.
So what we really need to do is get into primary schools, and get kids young to start teaching them not only about the options which might be available and open to them later on in their lives, but also preparing them for a world where 40% of current jobs are going to disappear. So what are the skills which are going to be most relevant to people going forward?
what we're doing is we're looking for companies to pay for what we call pop-up STEAMco kits, almost like a UN survival kit that gets helicoptered into Tottenham, or helicoptered into an estate in the middle of Cornwall, or gets helicoptered into Northumbria, so that the community can pick this kit up and go and inspire their children with creativity. We've got some guys here from your favourite store, a digital agency in Shoreditch, who are closing for the day, and they're going to go down to a school and they're going to inspire those kids with creativity, because not every school is as cosy as my school in Paddington. Not every school's got parents they can draw on.
This has been a most amazing day, absolutely amazing. Our Year 4 and Year 5 children are having an incredible time with a whole range of activity, coding, artwork, designing, a really amazing day.
I wish for you to stand up for what you care about.
I'm doing some spin painting. Centrifugal force does it.
What has carried me is creativity. Creativity is not the monopoly of artists. You can be a businessman and a poet, you can be a lawyer and a poet, you can be a doctor and a poet. It's true.
I'm absolutely pleased that your favourite story, The Digital Company, has provided a team of experts to support our children, and they have been amazing. They have allowed our children to have an opportunity that they wouldn't normally have, and now our children have real ideas about what is possible out there in that field.
When greatness walks into the room, greatness does not have to announce itself.
I've had a really fun day teaching children to microbit code. I didn't really sort of have many skills on that myself until today, but I've learned, and so have the children. It's been great.
Bonkers or useful invention ideas. You might be wondering what I'm wearing on my head. Well, this is a reverse listening device that I made from tubes and kitchen funnels. Okay, I've shown you some of my invention ideas, but I want to challenge you to come up with your own invention ideas.
The very essence of greatness is caught by young people. That's why they're addicted to artists, they're addicted to footballers, because they don't question their creativity, they just allow it to flow.
I'm a designer by trade, and what we're doing here today is we are inventing flying vehicles, not so much aeroplanes, something that flies and propels through the air.
We've been asking the kids today to build their dream school of the future. We've given them a massive Lego set, we've given them 20 minutes, we've had them create these incredible nirvanas of education. We've had sharks and we've had kings and we've had princesses and we've had uber technological advances for education. It's just unleashed so much in these children. It's been so much fun.
I just made a rocket and I can't wait to fly it.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's very educational.
One of the greatest drivers for our achievement here in this community is our parents and their involvement in their children to give their children better life chances. And today we've had parents and members of the community coming in to help us. A year ago when I spoke at the Barclay Tower, I said creativity is a luxury because of the focus on the basic skills that we have to consider in our community. But what I also said is that as a community, we may be broke, but we're not broken. And that is showing here today. It has been a day to remember.
The kids have thoroughly enjoyed it. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and we've learned so much too.
And I would recommend this to anyone, any head teacher, any school in the country. Just go for it. You won't regret it. It'll be a day to remember.
I love art because it's creative. I love art because it's creative and you can just use your imagination.
That's why we spell STEM with an A. The children are going to take this passport home tonight and they're going to sit down with their parents and tell them about the day they had. They're going to tell them the Homer Hickam Rocket Boy story. They're going to ask them some of the questions about Elon Musk and Tesla, see if they know who the first Briton in space was, and tell them about the microbit that they learnt to code today. Hundreds of children today learnt to code the BBC microbit. It's phenomenal. It's been an amazing day. Seeing these children really use their imagination, celebrate creativity, and to power this community to inspire their children with creativity. That's what we do at STEAMco, because we believe it takes a whole village to inspire a child.
There are many brilliant kids in schools who think they're not because they don't happen to be particularly interested or good at academic work. And actually, you know, if you left the world to academics, we'd be going off a cliff really quickly. You know, the world needs people who can do practical, vocational things and who love doing that. Politicians tend to focus on the things that they think are going to be of most use economically. Science, technology, engineering and math. And they are important. It's what I keep trying to say. These are a necessary but not a sufficient condition for an education system. But it's also important we should involve them in the arts. I mean, if you want to understand yourself and the cultures around you, you have to engage with music and art and poetry and dance. And by the way, for some people, this is their love. This is what they're good at. This is where they come alive. This is what motivates them to do anything with their lives. And so what people are arguing, that's behind your work, Nick, which I admire greatly and I'm very grateful for, is to put A into STEM so it becomes STEAM. But it's really just another way of saying, can we please have a balanced curriculum and not a narrow, obsessively linear curriculum? Civilization is a race between education and catastrophe.
Well, it's not every day you get the world's #1 TED talker, Sir Ken Robinson there, with 300 million views the last count, who've seen his talk. Name-checking you at a conference, and he's done it several times. I'm very, very grateful to him for his endorsement, if you like. He nominated me for a TED Fellowship a few years ago, which was amazing, together with Sugata Mitra. Very, very humbled. I'm just a dad. I do what I can. I've sacrificed a lot for this, and I can't pretend that these are easy times for anybody. But I'm making the most of it. LGFL have supported us, have sponsored us. We desperately need more supporters. When you've got companies behind people like Sir Ken Robinson there and countries behind him, he together with other people have helped whole countries like Singapore and China re-engineer their education systems to meet the needs of the 21st century. And you could argue that they're art activists in a similar way to people like Ai Weiwei here, who made this, we made this amazing little film with a few months ago.
The artist is not an activist, that's a dead artist.
This Chinese artist, Ai Weiwei, is also an outspoken...
When people refer to you, they always say artist, activist, Ai Weiwei. Is that how you want to perceive? Can you ever separate the two?
I can't, you know, if an artist is not an activist, that's a dead artist, like Rembrandt or Picasso, you know, but if they're alive, they were activists. They have to use art to talk about their ideas. I feel China achieved a lot. It achieved a strong economic play globally, but same time totally failure for their future generation. There's no sense of creativity or imagination.
Brothers and sisters, friends, and I see some enemies.
As Winston Churchill said, you've got enemies. Good. That means you stood up for something sometime in your life. And there's probably no better day to stand up for something than today, World Creativity Day, because we're standing together with the United Nations as one of their global goals for what is considered by many to be a fundamental human right: art, the use of creativity, tools or technology, and people to inspire young people in their learning, to create careers and to fuel the economy of many countries. And there's never been a time that we've needed that more. And you mark my words, this country is coming out on top of that. It's going to come out on top of that, because this government, who many see have narrowed the curriculum in some places and done a lot of good work in others. But the main thing, as far as I'm concerned, and what we're obsessed with, and the policies that we call out, are policies that have narrowed the curriculum and damaged the life chances of many young people. I know a lot of people think that social mobility comes from a broad from a narrow academic knowledge-rich curriculum. We don't believe that, nor do we believe a totally skills-based approach is the alternative either. We need a good combination. And after the break, I am going to break now, we are going to meet one of the most amazing, one of the most inspiring, one of the most connected and significant people in the world when it comes to creativity and the battle for creativity and to stop this creativity crisis. The UK government 10 years ago used their position, the country's position in the global league tables published by the OECD, the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development, had a league table for literacy, numeracy to judge the performance of various education systems across the world. The UK did not do very well. We were very near the bottom in literacy and numeracy. So all ships were turned around to go in those directions and down that narrow channel. As a result, creativity in the arts have been cut quite significantly. As you heard in the film earlier, Jeff Barton, the school head teachers leader from ASCL, said 9 out of 10 schools in the UK have reported that they have cut the arts and creative education. It's not happening in independent schools, it's not happening in private schools, and in no way at all is this some sort of class war, because we work with independent schools across the country. I spoke at one a few months ago and have been published by their industry trade newspapers. Those parents are paying for creativity and a broad and balanced education, and our call is that art should be for all, that everybody should have access to that, and that's what the United Nations World Creativity Day is all about. In developing countries, that could be as simple as giving kids books and pens and papers with which to express themselves. In our society, it's giving them access to materials and technology to express themselves, to find their art, to find their connection, their passion with which they can make friends, make some money, or make the world a better place. I'm going to cut now. I'm going to just play our Rocket Kids launch film again, because this has been a Rocket Kids session. We're going to come back at just before 4 o'clock with a world exclusive. We have got Professor Bill Lucas joining us live and direct here in our community lock-in on an Art Connect show special. He's the professor who co-chairs the OECD Commission for Creativity. A league table has been added to the list of educational league tables, literacy, numeracy and so on. There is now one for creative thinking, and Professor Lucas chairs that board. Co-chairs that board. We have got him on this show today, live and direct, here in the community lock-in from Steamco. Very, very excited, and we're going to do that as a hashtag ArtConnect show. I'm going to play this closing film because today has been day one of the test launch of our Rocket Kids Club, a place where kids and their creative carers can be inspired, create and share in a safe place. We're launching an online platform on Friday. We're looking for 100 test pilots for that, and tomorrow we're going to do another 2 sessions at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, 30-minute sessions each. The challenge tomorrow is that it happens to be hashtag World Box Day. So it's do something with a box. You could decorate it, you could make something. As far as we're concerned, it's Cardboard Box Day, and we are so excited about that. We are here and now declaring Friday to be World Loo Roll Day, and we want to celebrate the art of loo rolls. So we want you to make things from loo rolls on Thursday, and we're going to have a gallery and we're going to show all those all day Friday, because Friday is the day that we launch the Rocket Kids Club proper. And we've got an amazing special guest for that. We have got a man called Homer Hickam coming in on live from America. Homer Hickam being the author of this book, The Rocket Kids Story, about 4 boys. He was one of them, who had no idea what they wanted to be, but they did not want to be coal miners. 1957, they looked in the sky, they saw the Sputnik, were inspired to make rockets, and with the support of their mother, a teacher, and their dad, and the whole community, they made rockets. And Homer Hickam ended up working for NASA on the Space Shuttle and International Space Station program. He's inspired our book, the Rocket Kids Stories book, and he is live here on the hashtag Rocket Kids Club launch show on Friday, because Homer Hickam has agreed to be our patron of the Rocket Kids Club. I just can't believe it. He knows everybody in NASA. He's got honorary status. He's sold millions of copies of books. He has made a film called October Sky, which is the film of the Rocket Kids book. He is a global superstar in the world of astronomy, space exploration, STEM, STEAM, whatever. He has been a rock to us because my dad found that book in a box in the Oxfam bookshop that he volunteers in. That is how art connects. So this is for you, Dad, Mum. Hope you're good. Stay safe. Keep well. Let's play the film, The Rocket Kids Club, launching on Friday.
fulfill my life.
Okay. We'd like to say that in our opinion it is not suitable for children or for those of you who may have a nervous disposition.
Stand up for what you care about. And together, we'll turn the world inside out.
At a time of political division in Britain, the artists wanted to make a strong statement of community and solidarity.
Are you going to matter? I hope you will. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you for your attention. We're going to cut the transmission now, and we are going to come back to you after the break with an Art Connects show special with Professor Bill Lucas of the OECD Commission and Board for Evaluating Creativity and Critical Thinking.
Okay. We'd like to say that in our opinion it is not suitable for children or for those of you who may have a nervous disposition.